Welcome to Overly Opinionated.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to fallen kings.
And free the guys.
Special rest in peace to fallen kings. R.I.P. my man's MJ. Passed away last week, 6 years ago. But on to slightly brighter topics. You went and did your hillbilly thing this weekend.
Sir. Caught my first deer.
When you say caught, you mean murdered, right?
Yeah, killed it.
Yeah.
I'm black, so we say caught.
Yes.
That shit was fire too. Like from the moment, surprisingly, I wasn't nervous or anything. It was like, oh, there go one.
You talking about even in the moment? Like you didn't have to take like a
crazy.
You didn't get shaky or nothing.
I know. The first time I seen a deer and I had a crossbow in my hand, I heard my heartbeat. This time, oh, you the one. Like it didn't even happen. It happened fast. It was like, oh yeah, he's gone. I waited my little 30 minutes to an hour to go down and look for it. That was it.
You knew he was gone, you said?
Oh yeah. I knew I had a good shot. I practiced right before I went out for my evening hunt. Bro, I knew I had a good shot. There was no way I didn't have a good shot.
That sounds dope, bro.
Like
that sport.
It was. I can't wait to do it again. Wasn't fucking with the cutting it up part, but
I was getting ready to ask you if you had any remorse, like taking a life, but it sounds like
not at all.
It sounds like you might be a murderer going forward.
Bro, that's an animal, man.
Yeah, humans are animals too, so I'm gonna
fuck.
definitely stay away from you.
Hey.
We podcast partners
But
only.
listen, I can't dahmer you though. I'm not with the chopping up and shit. I just can't. That ain't for me. People say I shouldn't hunt because I can't do that part, but fuck all that.
Who's people? Who said that to you?
Hunters.
The ones you went with?
That and people who know I hunt, and I tell them how I feel about it, who've been hunting before, and they say, then why hunt? Like, you shouldn't just hunt to kill. I was like, that's the funnest part.
No, but you don't hunt. Well, okay.
I do.
That's dark, bro.
I don't know. I don't think
dark,
so.
Bro.
The whole idea of it for me is like fire. Like,
you don't eat venison?
Oh no, I do.
So you do. Like, but you just paid a person to do all that for you then.
But
like, those places wouldn't exist if every hunter just did that all the time.
Right. But you have to get it there.
Yeah.
As in, you have to field it first.
I don't know what fielding.
Field it is cutting it open, taking the guts out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You can't pay somebody to do that? You can absolutely pay somebody to do that.
In the moment, you got to think, bro. You're in the woods. Nighttime, place is closed.
Are you telling me that you can't smoke a deer and then run the whole deer's body to somebody who does that for money?
How long do you think that process takes?
What?
From that moment to take them to the shop or whatever?
It doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't know the things that you obviously know.
You shoot a deer. You have to wait 30 minutes to an hour just to make sure it's dead. All right? Or you'll just be tracking the blood trail for however long. Like, you scared a deer, it's going to get up and run again. You don't want to do that. So you want to make sure it's dead. So let's say you do find a deer. In that moment, you have to tag it. Like your information and all that. Your tag. You do that. Then you have to cut it open and take the guts out. Or you're just going to be dragging this heavy-ass deer through the woods. And let's just hope you're near a trail. That takes off at least 50 pounds.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, and once you drag it, see what I did, I gutted it in the woods, took it back to the cabin, then we hung it up so all the blood drains out.
All right, you ain't got to get into all the gory details, my boy.
Honestly, the gutting part is the worst part for me. But the skinning it was not that bad.
Well, okay, man.
Yeah, I was just letting you know that. But
why was gutting it the worst? It stank or something?
That, and you got to be careful. Like, you don't want to bust the intestines and shit come. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
what?
Bro. Yeah, you don't want to. If you got a weak stomach, I would not recommend it.
Nah.
Like, you legit got to cut his esophagus out.
All right. No one, literally, no one wants to hear about this.
But what's crazy? It comes out in one piece, which is wild. Everything comes out.
I don't think you understand how little people want to hear about this.
Respectable though. How was your weekend though?
No, but so you didn't feel any remorse, and you also are like gung ho to do it again, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you found something you enjoy, but I wish it didn't make me feel so weird. That
It makes you feel weird?
that you enjoy it so much with like I think it's just the uninhibited enjoyment that you get out of it.
It's all around fun. It just doesn't. Listen,
That's so dark, bro.
it just don't become fun when you gotta after it's dead and you gotta deal with this dead animal. That's the fun starts declining.
I feel like that makes it so much darker, dog. That's so crazy.
Like, what if I enjoyed cutting this shit up though? That would make it darker, right?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know. I think the biggest missing piece is I mean, there is like, I have to convince myself that this is, not to think about the family that it possibly had. Like, I think that's the missing piece here.
yeah, I don't ever think about that.
Yeah, you know what? And look, better for you, right? Because you enjoy doing it.
Look, like, you rather have me take out the whole family? Like, I'm down for that.
That is crazy.
I'll be down for that.
Look,
like,
you gotta stop, man. You gotta stop.
It was 2 of them though. One ran off. I can't give you that, but I think it was like mating season. So, but that shit was fire. Man.
You got a male deer?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank
Big
you.
congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It wasn't nothing spectacular though.
It's still, bro.
But yeah, for my first time, I'm proud of it though.
You should be.
I'm
Be.
and
That's
I'm the only
huge.
one who caught one that week.
No way, bro. That's hard.
It was super hard, bro.
That's hard.
How was your weekend?
No, as you can hear, I had a pretty good weekend. My voice is gone because we went to New York, went to Madison Square Garden for a UFC fight.
Big money.
It was incredible, dog. It was incredible. That's the best fight card I've ever seen.
Wow. Now, was the atmosphere as good as your other events you went to?
It was, yes. I say yes, but the happenings weren't as big as the biggest things that happened,
Gotcha.
right? So, like, we went to UFC 239 in 2019, and the fastest knockout in history happened there. Since then, I've never experienced anything close to that. There's never been an atmosphere like that I've been in, like, not even close.
But overall card, this.
Oh,
Madison
no
Square Garden
question,
takes it.
bro. No question. There were 14 fights on the whole card. 11 of them ended by stoppage.
Yeah. Great.
Great.
How did it feel to be in Madison Square Garden? Did you care about that?
You know what's weird, bro? I definitely cared about it until I was there.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Was it not what you expected? What?
It was just another arena. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
But, like, I know that being there is historic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Gotcha.
It didn't feel historic necessarily. It just felt like another place. And honestly, it being in New York made it that much worse. Like, New York fucking sucks.
I say that all the time, bro. I'm not a fan of it.
Nah, New York sucks,
Not
bro.
at all.
Like, you want me to be honest with you? Madison Square Garden smells like piss like everything else in New York.
Listen, do you remember me telling you this shit?
Yeah.
Like, if you see it on TV, you have seen New York. For real.
Yeah.
It looked just like on TV, man.
Yeah. And it feels just how you think it would feel.
Yeah.
Like, the people who look at New York on TV and think, oh man, I would love to be there. I would love to feel the hustle and bustle, the energy of the city. You would love it. If you look at TV and if you look at New York on TV and you think, oh man, that seems mad anxiety inducing. It is. That's exactly what it is. Oh, that looks disgusting. It is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
It's so fucking busy, man.
So busy at all times too, bro.
Like, I don't fuck with
That part wasn't great. New York itself, no thank you. But man, for the event that we went for, man, I would do that shit twice.
But I'm happy for you, man. I'm really am.
This is also off topic, but I just want to talk about it because I was affected by it over the last, I say, 2 weeks or so. Now, I don't have children, but you do. I be on Instagram seeing people that like we grew up with, seeing my family members or like high school acquaintances or friends, like homies from school and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing people that you knew from the sandbox raising children.
Yeah.
I don't know why, bro. It just brings me some like this weird joy.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it? Oh, they grew up. Is it something like that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, honestly, because there's people from different backgrounds that I see raising kids, and I'm just like, man, I don't know what it is, but I feel like every time I see it, I'm like, man, that's so dope. It puts a literal smile on my face every time I see it. I'm like, wow, this is dope.
Wow, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I don't ever.
I know.
Damn, you got kids? What? That's like my reaction. Like, never thought you'll have kids.
Yeah, nah, like when I see it, especially like especially people that I know well,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know them as parents. I'll see them being a parent. I'm like, oh man, look at them dadding it up, bro.
Look, the new side of them.
Yeah, like look at them dadding it up, bro. I don't know. That's just cool to me.
It depends. For me, it probably depends on who it is. Like my sister just be saying, it's like, wow, damn, you really your mom now.
Yeah,
That's what it's like. You really your mom. Like the aspect of actually seeing them parenting is like dope. When I don't expect them to see them doing this, it's like, wow.
I guess for me, because I'm not a parent,
Mm-hmm.
I almost never expect to see parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not something that I typically do. So I don't prepare myself for, oh, when I click on this Instagram story, I'm about to see a small child, you know? And then you see a small child and they like, just like, bro, it's just so cool to me.
Yeah, but it's now on the other side of that. I think is where people who don't have kids like be posting like their nieces and nephews like it's their kid. Like that's weird to me. I not weird.
Oh,
I
you
get
a hater.
I get annoyed.
You a hater. You
Like,
a real hater, bro.
That's hater shit.
I'm a proud uncle, dog. You a
No,
hater.
no. It's like, oh, this really my kid. They be posting like this really my kid. Like, nah, that's weird. Like, you're not really a parent. You just chilling with them right now. Like,
Nah, bro. Like some of them have bonds like that though. Some of them have like real tight bonds.
yeah, I don't know, but I just be finding them weird sometimes.
Yeah, we both got weird things. Like the joy that I get from watching people parent their kid on Instagram is definitely weird, but I really do love it. Like I love seeing y'all. I love seeing y'all out here, like our generation out here, like parenting for real.
That don't scare you though.
Absolutely,
I was about to say
absolutely.
yeah.
But like the whole children thing scares me altogether. So that's par for the course. It's just to see people out here doing it. It's just I don't know, man. It just makes me feel good for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
actually feel good?
Yeah, like even when I see you interact with your daughter, like, and I really be like, I see y'all interact, like, I don't know, it just warms my heart, man.
Wow. I don't ever look at it like that. Maybe because I have one.
That sounds terrible.
No, but
That sounds so
like,
bad.
Yeah, you just don't know. you think it's good, you just don't know. Like no, it is dope though.
It is.
No, without a doubt, it's definitely dope.
It's so dope.
Like she just told me today, like I'm the best rapper alive. If y'all know me, right? If y'all know me, I have never made a song in my life, but to her, I'm still the best rapper alive. Then she go dap me up after saying that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you really my dog for real.
Yeah.
Like she threw my confidence to the roof. She is a trip.
Please don't rap.
Bro.
But all right, so the thing in the notes today, as our topic, is communication.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because recently I've been told on like multiple occasions within the last 5 days that I'm aggressive. You think I'm aggressive?
I'm biased because I get told the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't see it, just like you don't see it.
Well, you're
think
aggressive. You're aggressive.
For real?
You, sir, are aggressive.
What?
Yeah, no question, bro. No question.
I really don't see it, bro. I don't see it. Like, do you think the wanting to have a conversation makes it aggressive?
No.
Your tone of voice?
I think that adds to it for sure. I think an unwillingness, and I may be wrong here, let me know, but an unwillingness to change your delivery based on how it may affect someone makes your communication style aggressive.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Like, you seem specifically unwilling to change your delivery in order to, like, avoid offense.
I can agree with that.
That's mad.
1,000%
That's mad aggressive, my boy.
That ass?
Yeah.
Just don't be a bitch about it. Like, if I tell you I don't mean it that way, let's just move on and like just express how you feel. Like.
No, I think to a degree you are absolutely right about that. I think to a degree, if someone doesn't intend to hurt your feelings, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to hold it against them for hurting your feelings. I think a lot of times when this accusation is made, not when the conversation is had, but when the accusation is made that someone offended you, and that's not necessarily an accusation. Like, people can offend you even when they don't intend to. Mm-hmm. But when the accusation is made that someone was aggressive, thus they offended you, I think people forget that you also have a responsibility to not be offended. Like, as much as I have a responsibility to try not to offend, mm-hmm. you have a responsibility to try not to be offended easily.
So whenever people say you're aggressive over these few days, do you ever say how?
Yeah, every time.
And what's the response? Is there a common denominator here?
Yeah, well, the common denominator, if we're being totally honest, is the fact that we're communicating. Like, the fact that we're communicating is the thing that is common. But it could be anything. It could be how I said it. It could be what I said. It could be the tone of voice. It could be my facial expressions. All of these things could possibly be the thing that made me aggressive in the situation.
Are you open to being biased because you don't think you're aggressive?
Oh, bro, not only that, I'm open to just being wrong. Like, I have changed my communication style based on the fact that I've been told that I'm an asshole for almost 20 years now, but I've also changed my communication style. I would rather avoid confusion mm-hmm. than to avoid being offensive. And that doesn't always work out well for me, but I just want you to know what I'm saying.
No, I fuck with that. Hey.
Like, I don't want you to I don't want miscommunicate. I would rather you be upset with the way that I delivered it than for you to not know what I meant.
Yeah, I fuck with that too.
If you don't know what I mean, that's not on me. Yeah. Almost always. Like, if you didn't get it, that's because you read more into it than you needed to. Like, I'm telling you exactly what I think you need to know.
And then I would definitely ask, like, what are you confused about? And that comes off as I've been told that comes off as very...
It's because the way you say it, though. That question, I think, is fine as long as it's clear that you are trying to gain understanding. I think a lot of times when you ask that question, it's clear that you're trying to be argumentative.
No, not at all. And now,
remember what I said, though. It's clear. But are you saying that it's clear that you're trying to be understanding? Like, you're trying to gain understanding? Is it clear?
I want to make sure I am as clear as possible. So when I ask you, what don't you understand? Please tell me where you're confused at. That is it.
But when you ask that question, does it sound like you're trying to belittle them?
Yes. And that's when I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. I'm just trying to see where you're confused at. I expressed that. I can see how it may come off, but I'm trying to tell you that's not what it is. Now, if I want to be rude, I would tell you I'm trying to be rude. Like, take it how you want it.
But you would be rude without saying that that's what you're gonna do. We all do that. We all get to that point.
So, what is a proper way to ask somebody? What are you confused about? What's the problem?
Now, me personally, I ask just like that. I will ask, like, I don't necessarily understand
How
what
you're
you
confused.
what you don't understand.
Yeah, and that is crazy. Like, that is like, bitch, don't talk to me like that. That's the reaction if you talk to me like, what are you talking to?
So look,
I get it.
let me be specific then, because I had a conversation where someone told me that I needed to chill. Someone was saying.
Was that the words they used?
Now they used that after they took it as if I was escalating the situation. So they told me, like, we had a debate and I thought the debate was fine. They were wrong and I was letting them know that they were wrong.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they didn't take kindly to that.
Okay.
I totally understand that. We all get it. We all have egos, right?
Yeah.
And they let me know, like, hey, I'm all down for debate and everything, but, you know, your voice will always be heard by me. I only ask the same. Almost as if
respectable.
Almost as if to say, like, I wasn't hearing them.
Uh-huh.
And they said that I was being slightly aggressive.
Okay.
My only response was, could you point out to me exactly where I was aggressive? This was through text message, so it should be easy.
Uh-huh.
And I just want to know. And I'm not going to pretend that I didn't take it as this person is being overly sensitive, because they've shown me that they're overly sensitive. But I asked, can you show me exactly where it is that you found this aggressive? Because sometimes you got to tiptoe around people.
This is also a sports debate, right?
Yeah.
I think that's crazy right there.
What's crazy?
Worrying about someone being aggressive in a sports debate.
Why?
Now, when you say aggressive, you're not talking about in a fighting manner, right? You're talking about passionate. Or like what I say is king, or like, what do you mean by this?
I'm not exactly sure, only because this person did say that they worry that people with personalities like mine are trying to escalate it to like a physical situation. And I'm like,
over sport?
Yeah, I could not care that much about that.
Wow.
So I'm asking, like,
yeah, okay.
What is it that made you feel this way? And me asking that question, they took as another step toward aggression, another aggressive action. That's what so I didn't respond to them asking me to tone it down.
Now, let's wait right there. So, can you asking that question come off as defensive?
Sure.
Okay. Now, yeah. I get okay, you're being aggressive now. I can see how you see that. It's like, okay, you're being defensive now. But
being defensive, I believe, is the exact opposite of aggression.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I give that, because I was about to use it. I give you that one. Okay, so what did he say?
When I asked that?
Yeah.
Jesus, dude, you need to chill out.
Hey, wait. No, is your next step a phone call?
Honestly, I was halfway to, I don't care about this nearly as much as you do. Clearly, like, it's clear that I don't care about this as much as you do. Like, you couldn't have gotten to me without calling me names. Like, you would have had to call me names to get me to that point.
Wow.
With us just disagreeing.
Wow, I'm at a loss for words over that response.
My direct response was, because I don't want to get I'm not hype at all, and I don't want it to seem like I'm hype at all. So I'm keeping a very even-keeled temper about this. Like, I'm very even about this.
Mm-hmm.
So my response was, I just want to know where you got offended. That's it.
That don't sit right with me.
Me saying that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because maybe this is my aggressiveness coming out now. Because, like,
you want to be aggressive.
Because
you want to respond with aggression because you are being accused of aggression.
Yeah.
I feel that. But, bro, again, like, if I was invested if I actually was emotionally invested in the outcome, like, sure. But I have already decided that you are likely just being emotional.
Uh-huh.
I just need to find out what it is that I need to avoid. Like, what kind of conversations I need to avoid having with you.
And sports is one of them.
That's what I'm trying to figure out here.
Okay.
Like, what is it? What kinds of things can I say to you that will make you feel this way?
Okay.
And I told this person that they were the only one in the conversation making big claims. That's what the conversation, that's the part of the conversation that they got hurt by.
Wow.
I said, the only big claims being made here are yours. I'm just saying the things that always happen are most likely to continue to happen. And they took that as me just like stepping up the aggression. And I'm like, oh, you know what, man?
Now, this was a conversation. The conversation y'all had, like the debate y'all had, was about what bonded you guys, correct?
Yeah.
If you can't have that conversation with that person, can you even deal with this person anymore now?
I don't think, yes. The short answer is yes. Yeah, I don't think that it'll...
But not to the limits that y'all just went to.
What I can say is that it will be much more scarce. Like, somebody, and I even told him this, bro. When you don't put any effort, because I put effort into not offending people. I know that probably sounds surprising to some, but I guarantee that I could be way more offensive. Which that sounds crazy. Like, I could be way more offensive, but I put forth genuine effort in not offending people. And when someone is unwilling to put forth any effort in not being offended, I feel like I got to walk on eggshells with them. And when I have to walk on eggshells with you, I can't be a close friend to you.
Right.
Because I can't be honest with you. I can't tell you something you don't want to hear. Because if I tell you something you don't want to hear, you're going to find that offensive.
And you're being aggressive.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's tough as fuck.
And that's something I can't deal with, having relationships with people that I can't have. I don't even want to call difficult conversations, but conversations that aren't just like, yeah, I totally agree with you. Like,
yes, man, conversation.
I can't only agree with you, dog. And when I disagree with you, I want to be able to tell you why directly. Like, I don't want to have to I don't want to have to dance around what I think. Like, if you tell me that you think X is true, and it is very clear to me that Y is true, I'll tell you, I don't see how you can believe that X is true. And then I'll give you the reasons. But I don't want to have to say, oh, well, I don't know, maybe. That's not necessary.
But this person communicating this to you was needed, though, right?
All the time. All the time. I appreciate, like, something that's very important is someone telling you how you make them feel. Because no matter how you intend to make someone feel,
mm-hmm.
how you actually affect them is a reality of y'all's interaction.
Right.
And you can affect that if you so choose. So there are different ways that you can go about communicating something to someone. And it's possible that it could make the difference between offense and not. And once someone tells you something once someone tells you a way that you affect them, you now have a decision. Now, you now can make a decision on whether you're going to affect them that way or not. Right. Like, if you told me, like, yo, man, I don't like it when you call me Darian. From here on out, okay, I'll give you like 2 or 3. Like, after, like, I call you Darian once, mm-hmm. and you tell me, yo, man, I really don't like that. And then I say it again, I may not be thinking about it, and you can give me one. Mm-hmm. But like on the third one, you like, look, man, I really don't like it when you call me that. And going forward, like, I feel disrespected if you continue. From there on, you have already expressed to me that you will feel disrespected if I continue this.
Right.
Knowing that I am new to knowing that this affects you that way. But from here on out, since you've talked to me about it twice, I think it's reasonable to hold me to a standard.
I agree with you. Now, is this a problem that can be fixed with the conversation you had with him?
Sure, but I'm not interested.
Oh, that sealed it. Like, oh, fuck all this.
Yeah.
Now, were you the only one uncomfortable here? Not, I don't want to say uncomfortable. That had to deal with this.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
It's all right.
I was about to say I would rather me be the one who deal with it.
It's all right. No, it's cool, bro. Like it was like,
but it
it's
didn't
really
ruin
not,
it at all,
bro. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. It's just something like you can choose to deal with someone who's bad at communicating, or you can choose not to. And in this particular instance, I would just choose not to. I think most people are worse at communicating than they think.
I agree.
Me personally, I know I'm bad at it.
So
because I literally choose one outcome over another. I know that I can possibly offend you. Because the thing that I choose to do is to make sure I'm saying things as specifically as I can say them. I'm very direct. People take aggression, or people take directness as aggression. And I am aware that they do that. I can't
be that way.
I can't convince them necessarily that directness isn't aggression. Like, them taking it that way is a real thing. And since so many people do, I have to at least accept that maybe it is. But I would rather be direct than for you to not know what I'm talking about.
So that is a great point. Do you think I'm direct?
Yes.
We must be aggressive, bro.
But I also think you're intentionally hurtful sometimes. Like, I think you know that it's going to offend people, and you go for it anyways. When I'm direct and it offends people, I am hoping that it doesn't. And I just don't assume I don't assume that I can't be direct with someone until they show me they are more sensitive to being to directness. I think you are like, oh, I'm gonna hit this person where it hurts.
It's more of like, this shouldn't offend you, and now I'm gonna say it. That's how. Like, you did nothing wrong. This should just not offend that person. Like, stay the same. Like, I would tell you, however that situation played out, redo it the same exact way if you had the opportunity, because that person should just not be offended. Like, come on, man.
How can you make that claim?
Because again, this was a sports. The topic was a sports debate. Like,
why do you get to choose what's offensive to somebody?
It's crazy.
Why do you get to choose what's crazy?
Because we're having this conversation. Me and you are having this conversation. Like, whoever you have the conversation with, like.
But the way that you're saying it sounds like you're writing the law, like you're writing the rubric, right? Like, nobody should be able to be offended by this in these
I just think
circumstances.
It's like irrational. Like if I'm upset.
But imagine someone telling you that about what you get offended by. Like the way that your coworkers talk about, poor people, black people, criminals, the way that they talk about them, and you're like this is clearly offensive.
Like, those are real people. We're talking about sports here.
Those are real people too.
This is a game? Like, this is just entertainment we're talking about here. Entertainment.
This is just black people.
That sounds crazy. You're comparing entertainment to a race of people.
I'm not saying that you're not making a good point. I'm just saying,
like, there's rational offenses, and there's just, oh, come on, you're being irrational.
But it's all about the way that you're saying it to someone. It's not necessarily the thing that you're talking about. The way that you say things to someone.
So you think the way you said that to him made it hard for him to accept your point?
Or great question.
Or was he being irrational?
I don't think necessarily there was irrationality. I do think that he was being sensitive. And I do think that he took it a different way than he could have taken it. So, let me give you an example of attempting to not be offended. I have toxic masculinity. Like we all have the ego in us where you have to be the nigga in the room. Like there is that. We all got it, bro. This is a completely separate situation, right? Let's say I'm sitting in a room and I'm having someone's helping me get an app so that I can buy a ticket, right? I don't know which app it is. They tell me what app it is and I type it in. I find it and I download it. And as it's installing, they don't know that it's installing, so they grab my phone out of my hand. And they say, let me see this real quick, please. Now look, them grabbing it out of my hand, I feel like that is an aggressive maneuver. And immediately, I want to get aggressive right back.
Is it not?
To me, yes. Sure.
Wait, to who is it not?
No, that's not the point here. That's not the point here. The point is, are they trying to be aggressive? And if the answer isn't resoundingly yes, I can also try to not take it that way. And this is why I say that it takes effort on both sides. It would have been best for the person who snatched my phone out of my hand to not have done that.
I agree.
If you were to put more effort into not being aggressive, you don't take my phone out of my hand.
Even though they're just trying to help.
They're just trying to help. And they're also scatterbrained right now. We're trying to figure things out right now. They're just moving quick, right?
Gotcha.
And when he grabs my phone out of my hand, he don't think nothing of it. And that's the same way that I speak, though. But look, when I'm very direct with people, I think nothing of it. Now, that's not necessarily true because I am aware that the way that I speak offends people sometimes. So I am at least aware of it. But I don't assume that it will offend people. So when they grab my phone out of my hand, they don't necessarily assume, honestly, I don't think they think about it. And that's why I didn't necessarily need aggression in response.
Now, did you let them know later on, like, that's not okay? Like, I'm not okay with that?
In less specific terms, and only because I accept it. The reason that I didn't react with aggression immediately is because I was able to pretty quickly convince myself that it wasn't an aggressive behavior.
Right.
It felt aggressive, but that was not the intention whatsoever, is what I was able to convince myself of immediately.
Okay.
And the reason that I was able to convince myself of that is because if that was an aggressive behavior, that automatically escalated it to a physical situation.
I agree.
Like if you really intended to alpha me right then, I really need to hit you. Like I need to snatch it back and hit you. And I don't think that it just didn't make sense for the situation. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So when it happened, immediately I look at my wife and I'm like, did he just try me? Like in my head, and she saw on my face, I'm like, did he just try me? And immediately, like looking at her gave me enough time to realize the situation, understand the reality of it, and I was able to compute him saying, please. You don't say that when you aggressing on somebody. So I almost immediately was like, nah, all right. That was an unintentional transgression.
Yes.
So immediately I was able to say, I don't need to get offended. It's all good. He didn't mean it. We all trying to.
So what I'm asking you, so to not be in that situation again, like, do you like, hey, like next time can you like ask for my phone instead of like just taking it out of my hand?
Nah, I didn't. In less certain terms, yes, man, and it feels bad because I still had to throw an extra jab in there, like unnecessarily.
Aggressive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So when I grabbed my phone back, I was like, yeah, it's already downloaded.
Now, did you just take it from him? It was like, it's already downloaded, or like, can I have that back? Like,
it wasn't a can I have that back, but it was
it.
before they extended my phone back to me.
Okay.
Like, they were obviously on their way to extending my phone back to me, but it was like, yeah, I already did. I did this already.
Was that the end of it?
That was the end of it.
Never came back up?
Never came back up. And I easily could have made that a thing. Agreed. I easily could have made that a moment to pull you aside and let you know, like, I didn't like when you did that. But I am fully aware that your intention was way less aggressive than my perception of it. And because of that, I don't need this to be a thing. You don't have to change anything because you weren't intending to do anything crazy.
So are you okay with that situation happening again in the future?
No. But I would have to address it differently if it happened again in the future, because it would challenge the idea that it wasn't aggressive to begin with.
Okay.
And I'm afraid that it would even have to be immediate aggression from me if it happened again in the future, because you clearly you took the last time as, oh, you could just be aggressive to Savon, and that's not the case.
That is, I think, not saying anything is setting the wrong tone.
You realize that this is your aggression speaking, though, right?
Fuck. No, but bro, you don't snatch out of people's hands.
You don't. That's a fact.
Like,
that's a fact. But you also don't belittle people in conversation.
Like, but I don't think that's.
Don't be so sensitive. Don't be so sensitive.
To prevent me from fucking up and thinking the next time you're being aggressive, I'm gonna nip this. Hey, please don't snatch things out of my hand. Like, next time, just can you at least ask for it?
And no, that follows. That's totally fine. I'm not saying that I couldn't have done that and everything be fine. What I'm saying is only one of us had a problem.
It was you,
and it was me. And I am totally fine with dealing. I can deal with my problem.
Yeah,
I can deal with that problem, bro. Now, in situations where one of us has a problem and it needs to be addressed because
manhood,
I can't get over it.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely, talk about it. I can get over it though.
And then, but what if that was something you couldn't get over? That's why he messaged it.
And I think that's what bothers me the most.
Gotcha.
It's the fact that you don't have the ability to avoid offense enough to where you needed to have that conversation with me.
But I think that's a incredible ability that a lot of people don't have, though. Like, that's some stand-up shit you did. Like,
that's a solid point, man. And I don't know, man. I don't like that, though.
But it's not about liking it. Like, you was asking him to do some superhero shit. Like,
I don't think so.
Do you know how strong you are for someone to snatch some shit out of my hand and was like, you think instead of react? Like, I'm snatching my shit back before you even look at my phone. Like, whoa, you on some other shit right now? Like,
yeah.
But for you to actually sit here and think, oh, you didn't mean it, like, that's some hard ass shit to do and some solid shit to do. Like.
Bro, that's because I am offensive. Like, when you're told for the 15 plus years that you are just offending people, like you're just out here unintentionally offending people, I can see offense a mile away.
Okay, but what if he hasn't been told that? Like, everyone don't have 15 years of prep like you do. So it's like,
I don't think that's possible.
Because of who?
I don't think that's possible. Not because of who it is. I just don't think it's possible as a person, at least living in America, that you don't see offense left and right. We talk about it regularly. We talk about how people are too easily offended. We talk about how people are too quick to offend. But, like, I think what it is, people don't take the time
To look at
to
their
see,
actions.
to see themselves in the conversation. They don't take the time to see their own role in the situation of offense.
And you're holding that against them?
Yeah. I hold it against everyone though. I hold that against everybody. And this is why the way that we had the conversation before about offense. This is why I don't stand on either side of the fence there. I don't like how many times fence came up. But this is why I don't pick a side on that, because I think there are definitely times where people are too quick to offend. I also think there are definitely times where people are too easily offended. But on either side of the spectrum, what did you do in that situation? When someone told you that you were offensive, did you double down? Did you become more offensive? Did you tell them that what they were feeling was invalid? When someone offended you, what did you do? Did you quickly get in your feelings? Did you quickly behave as if their intention was to offend you? Did you not give them the benefit of the doubt as you have been the aggressor at some point in your life, unintentionally? Like, how charitable were you in the situation? And if the answer is 0, you were wrong. I'm not saying you were the only wrong one, but if your answer wasn't neutral in any degree, you were wrong. Because yes, you probably did take more offense than necessary. If your answer to, well, what did you do in the situation? Like,
yeah.
Oh, nothing. Oh, really?
Okay, Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. You jump too quickly to be offended. Or like, oh no, I didn't do anything wrong. Well, you probably offended them. Like you have to realize your role in these human interactions, man. And we can all attempt to be less whatever it was in order to avoid the unintentional effects. If somebody slap you in the face, they intended to piss you off. They intended, we fighting now. That was the intention. There's no accident. That was an intentional escalation of aggression. But if someone says something that you didn't like, they might really think that.
Yeah. Again, the more I think about it, that is pretty fucking impressive how you were able to think when someone snatched something. Like that's crazy.
Bro, I boiled hot.
That is so impressive.
I boiled hot fast.
No, I'm not saying you got hold, bro. I am not saying that, okay?
I didn't think that. I didn't think you were saying that.
Now
I now feel like you're saying that.
Salute to you though. For real, like, because I wish I was able to do that.
You should be. You should be able to do that. Otherwise, you get offended when people don't intend to offend you. Is that what you want? Would you rather be more sensitive, or would you rather react according to the intention that they were?
I'd rather react to the situation in the proper way.
Right.
And like, there's certain things that people can do. Like, there's no thinking. It's just a reaction.
Yeah.
And I wish to change that, because in that moment I would just react like, again, like, I'm already, the moment he's reaching for, I'm snatching it back. And then it's like, what do you want? Again, like, I would love to have thought like you did there. Because
if you were to ask me 10 days ago, what would I do if somebody snatched my phone out of my hand? My answer would be, snatch that shit right back.
Like, that's impressive. Like, that's really is impressive that in the heat of the moment, like, you did the correct thing.
So look, after it happened, my wife looked over at me, and now we're the only ones in the room. She was like, "You all right?" Like, on the low, right? She was like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm good." It was crazy too, because she knew that was supposed to go different. Like, according to my reactions in the past, like, oh, Savon is fuming, and this could boil over. And I'm like, oh, nah, we good. Especially because I gave her the look to begin with. And it's like, oh, this whole day about to go down the
Like,
drain.
is this what I think
This
it is?
this whole day is over.
Like,
this whole day just got ruined.
And I think that's reasonable. And I hate that I think that, because if I would have reacted, I would have been the asshole in the room. Because
now, I don't disagree with you, but make the connection for me of being reasonable, like reacting in a reasonable manner, and being the asshole in the room.
Because I would think snatching something in my head is made up. You snatch something out of my hand, you're being aggressive.
Right.
You are challenging me.
Yes.
Like, this is the ding, ding, ding fight. The moment you choose to do that.
And there's no other option.
Correct. Well, there is but in my head, there's no other option. Like,
right.
You want to go down. So when I cross that line, that is a reasonable response.
Yeah.
But I look like an asshole because he was just trying to help.
Yeah.
So that's the connection right there. Like, I reacted how I was supposed to react, but you look like an asshole for fighting the guy who was just trying to help you out. So, yeah. I'm glad you didn't react that way.
Me too, man, honestly. And I'm also glad that I didn't need to bring it up. Like, as much as you say that there's the opportunity for reoffense, and I totally, like, I accept that there's a chance that they don't necessarily even realize that they did that. Thus, it could happen again. But I am the only one who had a problem with it. So I'm the only one that needs to prepare for a next time. So next time, if anything like that were to happen, I'm just gonna hold my phone over here. Like, you, nah, you don't need, you know what I'm saying?
So, because he messaged you, maybe that was him accepting, I don't want this to be a next time where this happens again.
Yeah.
You don't like that he did that, right? Or how he communicated that. Which one?
I don't mind that he did that at all. That was a very healthy way to go about it. He was the exact opposite of not the exact opposite. He was very reasonable in his communication of he stated his problem very clearly, very directly, very calmly, and it was clean, bro. That's not the problem at all. The problem wasn't the communication of his feelings toward our interaction that was not the problem at all. He was very calm. Both times that he has been offended by me, he's let me know in the calmest fashion, very reasonably. It's just, he's too easily offended.
And you don't like that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what this guy looks like or whatever. Could you be seen as a challenge to him?
I could be seen as a challenge to everyone. You ever heard me speak before? Like, when, like, people automatically see me as, like, and with my personality, I think people think of me as aggressive based on the way that I speak and the way that I sound, and sometimes, depending on who it is, the way that I look. Like, I'm a walking challenge to people.
And that's why, based off looks, did you look like a challenge to him?
Most likely. But I assume that across the board.
Gotcha.
And also, when I'm not fresh off of screaming my head off at Madison Square Garden, I sound like I'm challenging people.
Gotcha.
This is something, like, I don't actually think that, but this is what I've accepted by my interactions with people. And children hate me, dog. Children hate me, dog.
Especially because you don't talk in the Goo Goo Gaga voice.
Exactly. But when you built like this, like, my stature just tells you that I'm the nigga in the room.
You alpha male, huh?
And I'm not. That's not at all what I'm trying to put out. But that's what people take out of it. So sure, I always seem like I'm challenging people, but I'm also here to let you know, like, it's nothing like that. Like, we good.
Now, could that be seen as you just blowing them off, or like nonchalant? Like, it's not that big of a deal?
Could what be seen that way?
We're good. Like,
yeah.
Like, downplaying it?
Yeah. But I made sure to make sure to let people know when I offend them that wasn't my intention, if it wasn't my intention.
Gotcha. Now,
that could just be lip service. And I know that people take it as lip service a lot of times. So I make sure to be very sincere and to let them know what my intention really was.
Now, does you saying that come with an apology? Not saying you did anything wrong, but does it come with an apology?
It depends on the situation.
Like, did you apologize to him, or not that there's anything to apologize?
I apologized to him the first time he was offended by me because I didn't realize that it was just hypersensitivity.
Gotcha. So the first time you thought you looked at trash, you thought you did something wrong, but then you seen the pattern?
No. I accepted the possibility that it was reasonable to take my actions as aggression. Again, just based on people in the past telling me that this is aggressive. If you hear that a lot,
this is nothing new, he said,
and you don't change it, then you are not to blame. I'm not saying that you are to blame or that you're doing anything wrong, but you at least know how it could affect people. So I was like, yo, man, I'm sorry if you took it this way, but not at all was my intention to be aggressive towards you.
Gotcha. And then you would have looked like a bad guy if you was like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Right? Because I learned people tell me that's a rude apology or a fake apology.
Again, the way that you speak to people, it's very clear what your intentions are, even when you don't want to say what your intentions are out loud.
So when I say I'm sorry you feel that way, I don't think what I said was wrong. I'm just sorry this is your reaction for that. And I think that apology fits right there in that situation. Like, oh, I'm sorry how you reacted to that. Because I truly don't believe you did anything wrong there. And for him to react like that, it's like, damn, this is on you. Like this is the problem you have to deal with. And for him to bring it up, it really stuck with them.
Yeah, no question.
So that's some shit he got to work on.
And I agree that it's something that he has to work on, but I don't agree that it was an only him thing. Like, I was speaking directly. No question about it. Like, I definitely spoke directly. When I disagreed with something that he said, I just said straight up, like, this doesn't make sense to me.
So when he asks why and you beat around the bush, like, that just wouldn't make sense of why you would beat around the bush when you can just give him a clear answer of why I disagree with you.
Right. I agree. That's how I get onto it.
And that's why I don't see where you went wrong at. I truly do not. And that is somebody I would not want to be around.
Yeah, nah, and it's, not everybody is meant to be a close friend, and I'm totally all right with that. But it opens a conversation. We have this specific example to go off of, but it opens the conversation for the likelihood of offending people and how you react to it. And I have not always reacted well. I blame other people for being offended by me. Like, that used to be my main reaction. That used to be my primary reaction to someone being offended by me. It's like, well, that wasn't my intention, so that's your problem. Go deal with it.
Agree. Same.
And that's not the way to do it, bro.
That is selfish.
It's super selfish, and it invalidates their experience, and that's corny. Like, that, it feels horrible when someone does it to you.
That's a fact. And
also, if you don't at least accept the criticism, you might suck. Like, you might just suck. Imagine the people that you see as, like, specifically shitty people. Imagine if they would take criticisms of how they come across to others seriously, let's say 50% of the time. Imagine how much better people they would be.
So, if you think that, did you express what you thought of him?
What do you mean?
I think you're just sensitive.
Yeah.
You expressed that?
I didn't say that I think you're just sensitive. And this is, I'll tell you almost verbatim how I responded to him. Look, man, I like you. I'm not going to try to offend you. It's never going to be my goal to offend you. I will actually even attempt to avoid offending you. I do not think you are as willing to avoid being offended as I am to avoid offending you.
With the way he talked, would he understand that?
I don't know.
Do you care?
In my opinion, if you can't understand what I just said, that's not my fault. This is why I talk, bro. This is why I talk like this.
But is that... We just previously in this conversation, he was like, I want to be clear as possible. So if they don't understand, you can't just reword it?
That was as clear as, like, no, I said directly what I meant.
You're sensitive as fuck. Tone it down some. That's a little more clear, but rude.
I don't think that's clear.
What?
I don't think that's any clearer. That doesn't get across what I am intending to get across at all, even. Like, that might be 10% of what I'm trying to say here. Because you have to give the backdrop. The reason that I said it the way that I said it is you have to give the backdrop that I am going to try not to offend you.
Which
it's
is
something that I do.
Very important to try.
I am going to try not to offend you, bro. I have never tried to offend you before, and I will never try to offend you in the future.
That does hold weight. I give you that.
But you are not willing. You are not as willing to not be offended as I am to not offend.
And you want them to put in the same effort.
And that's what I need it to be clear that we have to both try to not offend you.
Gotcha.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to get across here. And like, if you don't got that, then again, that's not on me. And even after this conversation, like, you can take that however you want it, however you want to take it. But I've said exactly what I feel I need to say. But yeah, I absolutely addressed his sensitivity to him. And I even broke down what I said. For example, I genuinely think, and the thing that he pointed out that I said earlier that offended him, I said, I genuinely believe this. I genuinely believe this. And I said it this way specifically because I believe it this way.
So I'm curious, how, after you said that, how did this conversation end? Did someone just not respond?
What's interesting about and again, this is super specific because of the situation, like because we're using an example situation, but because you're asking something. No, we'll make it less specific. It did happen in this situation, but something that happens a lot is when someone is offended, they assume that there's tension.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, dog, I'm good.
But
like, I've been good. I never wasn't good. I've been fine since before you started talking to me because I'm not offended.
Right. I don't have a problem.
I never had a problem. And like, to bring it back to the specific, he was like, oh yeah, I think this whole thing was a miscommunication. And I think this is why we struggled earlier. We didn't struggle.
You said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I know you, man.
We didn't struggle. I was never struggling.
I'm upset with this because I be in situations like that and I say something like that and then I look like an asshole.
You do.
But like, you saying that seems like it's bringing the problem back up. But it's hard for them to wrap their. You're the only one with this problem. Like, we're not having an argument here. Like, you're just expressing how you feel, and I'm just telling you, like, I didn't mean it that way. Like, I don't have a problem. I'm not upset with you. But it's hard to wrap your head around that when you're the one with the problem.
Well, I think where you divert from the path of healthy communication is you end it with, yeah, I never had a problem. That's where you end it. But the actual thing you're trying to get across is that I didn't even know there was an issue here until you brought an issue to me. And that's the way that I said it. Like, we didn't struggle because I honestly had no idea there was a problem with what we were doing. Like, you had to let me know. And that's the honest truth.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a problem to me until you told me there was a problem to you.
And was he willing to accept that or no?
Yeah. Yeah, but to a certain extent, in this very specific situation, I think that it was him feeling slightly embarrassed. Because this is someone who's standing on the side of people are too easily offended. He stands on that side pretty strongly too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his flag is over there for sure. And it is an American flag. He stands real far on the side of people are offended too easily. So when I addressed to him that I think you're just getting offended too easily, I feel like he got a little bit offended and I don't know, or got a little bit embarrassed. And so a part of me feels like he backtracked because he realized, like, oh wow, that was me.
But that is needed though, right?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good thing. I don't know how good of a thing it is, but I think it's a good thing. Because again, like when people don't like, man, this is going to sound crazy too. People don't like feeling like they were taught something. People don't, this is why, and this is something that people find offensive that I do all the time. I will correct you if you say something wrong. I'll correct the way that you said it. And the only reason that I'm doing it, and I'll even let you know this in the moment, I'm only bringing it up because next time you don't have to be wrong. To me, it's like a noble thing. I would rather be wrong as few times as necessary. I used to say King Corso, King Corso, because that's what I thought the dog was. I said that for a solid 19 years.
We had this talk.
Until your sister said, did you just say King Corso? And I was like, yeah, the dog. And she was like, it's Cane Corso. I couldn't believe. Like, imagine the amount of people that could have corrected me years ago so I didn't have to keep looking like an idiot. And I think in the moment, when you learn something, when most people learn something,
embarrassment comes.
They get embarrassed and they're like, oh, what are you trying to do? Embarrass me? It's like, no. You're embarrassed. I'm not embarrassing you. You're just embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that could be seen as another act of aggression towards you. So me in that moment being the teacher here might have just been another act of aggression. So you really got to choose. You got to choose these battles carefully.
That, especially if he would consider himself an alpha male or whatever.
That shit weird though.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
That shit weird though. Like I think there are situations where you have to be the alpha male.
When it comes to another man?
Yeah. I think there are situations where you have to be the alpha male. I think there are very few of those.
I was going to say, like, I really can't think of one unless
he's
trying you. Oh, let's say unless he's trying you.
In a fight.
Unless he's trying
in a fight or a situation where someone is trying to test whether you will fight or not. It's like, okay.
So some violence.
Yeah, violence is where you, like, yes, you have to be the alpha male. Now, don't get me wrong, as a man who has bunches of toxic masculinity, I feel like I have to be the nigga in the room way more often than I actually do. But you can know that. And I feel like it's very important to know that. You don't have to be the alpha male, bro. Like, in most cases, that's not necessary. Like, bro, we're at McDonald's. No, bro, we are really at McDonald's. What are you being tough for?
Like, it's because in the moments, it's hard to take a look at what the fuck you're doing. Like, that's a challenge by itself already. Like, damn, I'm wilding right now. It's hard to, in the moment, to catch. That goes back to me saluting you. Because in the moment, you could have been that alpha male and just get the wilding. Like, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what my nature says to do, by the way.
Like, it's a challenge. So, I understand. But it does need to be corrected. Because if he realized he does not have to be an alpha male, it could have saved this conversation.
And I feel that way about a lot of different situations. The one that comes to mind, I was at a Wendy's one day, and one of the rare occasions I had cash on me. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it mattered, but I had cash on me, and a dude walked in with his children, and he was a younger dude, but his oldest kid was probably like 13 or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. He walked in with 4 children. The youngest was maybe 5. Okay. She wanted nuggets bad, my boy. They walk in after me. My order is already being made, and the lady said something like, "Nah, I didn't even hear what they was talking about because I was minding my own damn business." And then they go to walk out, and they didn't get no food. I'm like, damn. So I grabbed my food. I'm on my way out, and I can't get out because the 5-year-old going crazy. Like, she is just not having it. Yeah, she is super upset. I'm not trying to leave. I want these nuggets. Like, and I was like, oh damn, man, she really want them nuggets. And he was like, yeah, they don't take Apple Pay in there, man. I'm like, oh, bro, I can buy y'all food. I am not flexing in any type of way. I'm not trying to alpha dog, none of that. I'm literally just saying, like, this kid clearly wants nuggets. Right. I could just get y'all's food, man.
He declined it?
Yeah. Not only did he decline it, he was like, I got money. And I'm like, bro, I'm sure you do. Like, that's not my point. This had nothing to do with whether you have money or not. Like, most times I wouldn't be able to help you out here, but like I can now, and that's fine. But I don't know this for sure, but because of the way the interaction went, it felt like his pride wouldn't allow him to accept a handout.
What's the reason he said I got money, man? I didn't ask you if you had money. I didn't say you was broke. I can get you some nuggets, is what you said. So I think it had to be his pride, bro. It had to. Like, no, you trying to flex on me, bro.
And look, man, like that's not. And this is crazy to say it like this because this is like a common meme or whatever. But sir, this is a Wendy's. You don't have to be a money getting nigga to be here.
Like, that's a fact.
You don't have to be alpha to be here, bro. It's a Wendy's.
Yeah, that's a fact.
It's like, bro, I could pay for your whole, like, all of y'all's meal. And nobody, like, it's not even a lot of money.
Like, bro, it's Wendy's, bro. Like,
my man, $25 handles all of y'all.
Now, if you talking about shoes and shit, you buy the whole gang shit. Okay, you flex it.
Yeah, what are we doing here?
Like, right. But a fucking Wendy's,
bro. Wendy's?
Yeah.
Wendy's for 5 people
and they got 4 for 4.
3 of them are children?
Yeah.
Bro.
I got money.
You don't have, like, and I literally was like, oh, yeah, I wasn't saying nothing like that. But as I'm saying it, I'm walking back to my car and I'm thinking, this is pointless.
Yeah, because
Like the way that he's thinking about this is like, man, this is a losing battle.
That was a challenge to his manhood. Like,
what is the use of that?
Yeah.
What do you win there? Like, think about it. If I'm challenging, if my thought is, oh, these poor people don't have money. What do you right? I'm just saying, because worst. Nah, your reaction is crazy. Your reaction is crazy.
No. A man and his family, you say these poor people in the Wendy's? Like,
no, I'm going off a worst case scenario.
Okay.
This is worst case scenario. What if I'm thinking, oh, these poor people can't afford these nuggets? Who gives a fuck? Who cares at all? Like, if that's really the outcome, you still don't lose anything. I don't know you.
But saving, we kind of spoke on this like privately, like, people truly fear embarrassment. And being broke is an embarrassment.
That's a fact.
So, just to save himself that embarrassment, oh, I got money. Just a defense mechanism. Like, see, now if you was challenged, like really testing, like, I would have, walked out, damn, these nuggets good as fuck. Like, that would be the real flex right there. Like, a test of his manhood, knowing where he going to.
It's crazy because you go to Wendy's, you got to get the nuggets. So I really did have nuggets.
So, damn, he said these poor people.
But you know, no, but that's
what he was thinking.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking, and it's like, bro, even if that was the case, like, that's fine. Like, who really cares? I'm a stranger. You've never seen me before. You'll never see me again.
Especially now, all I'm doing is just trying to help. Like, that's a crazy response to someone who's trying to help.
It is such a crazy response. Bro, and his kid is like going crazy right now. And that is literally the only reason I never would have even known if that kid wasn't in my way when I'm walking out.
Right.
If I could have like cleanly gotten out of there, I never would have spoken to dog.
So,
but that's that I need to be the alpha male in every situation. And it's like, what do you gain by being that way? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you literally lost Wendy's that day.
That and a disappointed child.
For no reason.
No reason at all. So yeah, that shit.
What would you have done in that situation?
I'll take it. I'm not, bro. I fuck with the handouts and all that shit, bro.
Yo, you ain't gotta say it like that.
I fuck with the handouts. I'm not expecting it, but I fuck with them. Like,
that's real. That's super real.
I'm not expecting it, but
that's super real.
I'm not about to sit here and act like I don't.
That's super real.
Like, that's not my goal.
All the time?
Why not?
No, because some people feel like I often feel like I can't take every handout if it feels like I may owe them later.
Oh, you're speaking of the same person.
No, period. Like, there are multiple people that have tried to give me handouts, and I'm just like, nah.
It depends on the type of handout. Depends on the type of handout.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the type of handout. I'm like, no, bro. Like, I can do without right now. Like,
ironically, I don't let someone from work buy my meal.
I used to deal with that too. Like, when this is the first job I ever had. They buy my lunch every day. Every single day. From the moment I started working there, I came with a pack of lunch, and they was like, oh no, we buy lunch here. And I was like, what? Like, is this coming out of my check? Like, he was like, no, like, we're just buying your lunch. And it was uncomfortable for me. Like, still, like, people buying my food is uncomfortable because I have to return the favor, I feel like. Yeah. I think it's just mandatory. Like, next day is on me.
That's why you be chasing them down with drinks and
like,
stuff?
Stop playing with me.
Is that why you do that? No, I'm asking.
Stop playing with me.
No, I'm asking.
I don't
Why
do
can't
that.
I ask that question?
Don't ever ask me that question.
Why?
It's not true.
Okay.
It's not true.
Okay.
Like,
it's kind of true, though.
Nah. I done asked you if you were thirsty, correct? Have I ever asked you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've only ever asked me once, though.
That's cap.
You've only no. In a situation, you've only ever asked me once.
Because you hurt me, correct?
In any situation,
because you hurt me, right?
You only ever asked me once.
Because you hurt me, correct?
You asked that question a solid 7 times. You even asked his wife if he was thirsty.
Oh my God, bro. You are a weird guy, man.
Tell me I'm lying. Put it on something.
But there was machines running.
Right.
They did not hear me.
Yeah.
Have I ever asked you that multiple times and you did not?
I just want to know why I heard the wind and it sounded like you was running.
No,
why?
Bro. No, you're tripping, bro.
Like you chase somebody asking them if they were thirsty.
I'm upset with you so much because I'll never forget that day now.
Me neither.
Like, bitch, you pissed me. Bitch.
Me neither.
Like, I don't know what job I was on. I know exactly what I was doing. I know what I had. Like, bitch, you had me fucked up that day. You really did, man.
Nah, he had you fucked up.
Nah, bro, because that's not what happened.
He had you out here looking crazy.
Bro, that's not what happened, man. That's not what happened. Like,
bro, I'm not gonna lie, because I didn't know what you did at the time. Like, I didn't know what you, fully what you did. I thought you was the water boy. I thought you was Bobby Boucher. I thought he had you Bobby Boucher.
I might up my body count today.
I look like a deer?
Look, I might up it. You talking real spicy, like.
Nah, I'm kind of thirsty, though.
I'll never ask you that again. Bitch, you about to get your own drinks for here on out. My crib, your whatever.
How much food I gotta buy you to get you to give me drinks?
You don't gotta buy me shit, man.
All right.
Like, for real, like. And so we gotta close this episode.
I don't like that you're the one that has to say that now.
What?
I feel like you be trying to get the hell out of here. Like I'm loving. Like I've been these last 2 weeks. I just like we in the flow. Like I'm loving this.
This shit is more comfortable, and I say that because I don't ever sit on my couch and talk.
Yeah,
at all. It felt like a office there. Here it feel like a comfortable conversation.
I got you.
meant to ask you that. I just had to. Is it weird for me to hit you up and Netflix and chill?
Excuse me?
Is it weird for me to text you? Are you trying to watch a movie? Chill on my spot?
What are you asking me right
Is that weird?
Can you give me like a specific example of what you're asking me?
Can you come over and watch a movie off Netflix with me?
You text me that?
Yes.
It's at least a little bit weird.
Okay.
At the very least, that's a little bit weird.
Okay. Come over and watch the game.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we're doing the same thing.
Yep.
What is weird about it?
I wish I could explain it to you, dog.
Like, niggas can Netflix and chill, right?
Nah, I don't think so, honestly.
Really?
I don't even like the way you're saying that. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's what it is.
My toxic masculinity is really not letting this go,
Listen,
bro.
Eliminate it. What is wrong with it?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, and I still don't like it.
Listen, bro, I'll order the wings. You just come over, relax.
From where?
B-Dub.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'm in.
Like, I was talking to the guys at work. I was like, there's nothing wrong. If you can watch football with the guys, you can watch a movie with the guys. It's doing the exact same thing. Legit doing the exact same thing.
It depends on what movie it is, I think.
50 Shades.
Oh, yeah, nah. R.I.P. that plan.
What?
Yeah, nah, we gonna dip right on out of that one.
Magic Mike?
You said close the show?
Magic Mike.
Did you say something about closing the
Magic
show?
Mike?
Nah, bro, what are you talking about?
Bro, you ever seen Brokeback Mountain 2?
So hit us up on Instagram at the Overly Opinionated Podcast. Hit us up on the Gmail at the Overly Opinionated Pod at gmail.com. And Twitter at the OO Pod Boys. Y'all not gonna hit us up on Twitter anyway.
At all. We're our one follower.
But yeah, let us know how y'all communicate and how y'all feel about the situation spoken about in here and any other situation that you've dealt with yourself. And are you the offender or are you the offended? Because I'm curious.
I'm an offender.
Because like I think most people are on. I think most people are on one side more often. Like you are either offended more often. Yeah. Keep track, and let the Overly Opinionated Podcast know. And we appreciate every single one of y'all listeners, man. This has been an incredible journey.
Surreal.
And I feel like it's only getting better. I'm only loving it more and more, as you can tell by us going for an hour and 26 minutes now.
Damn, I ain't even peep.
Yeah.
I don't look at time.
This been great, man. So hit us up, let us know what y'all think, and you already know. We will see you next Wednesday.
Yep.